Okay, Boxing Fanatics, welcome to the seventh episode of the Boxing
Yes,
Fanatics podcast. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Mr. David Rajuili, former African champion. David, um, on March 29th, you're returning to the ring once again, this time against Steve Sopan. Yeah, how are you feeling ahead of this fight?
yeah, bro. Once again, Daniel, thank you for having me on your show, on your podcast. It's always an honor to be speaking to you and, speaking to your people. So, once again, thank you for having me on. And thank you for the continuous support from you guys. No matter the wins, no matter what's happening, you're always there checking up. So, before we start, I just want to say thank you.
Oh,
Stephen Supan on the 29th of March 2025. Wow. Fight number 29 for me. Very excited a little bit because it was actually the Supan family that got me fighting in Europe 5 years ago. They got me onto the evolution of boxing tournaments. I've been fighting there for the past 4 years. Every year, that's where I go to fight in Holland on their shows. Um, so it's been, I've got a little bit of a fan base up there in Holland and all. So it's very exciting to go back there. It was the first place I fought when it came to Europe.
mhm.
And I think, to be honest, it will be the last place I fight in Europe. So I'm very excited for it, just to go back to Amsterdam, give them one more show. And to be fighting a guy like Steven Supan, a very exciting fighter coming out of Holland itself, Amsterdam. I've known him for a while, also about 5 years, 6 years. When I moved there, we were sparring partners and training partners. And it was a fight that people spoke about 6 years ago, when I was in moving into Holland and all, moving into Europe. A lot of people did say that that's one fight people would love to see in Holland.
Mhm.
David Rajuili versus Supan. So when they phoned me up for this fight, I was 100% in. Yeah, I'm just very excited at the end of the
Mhm.
day. I love fighting, so it's very exciting for me. I'm back in camp, back eating clean, back
Mhm.
to the grind.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, I'm just excited once again.
So do you know the Supan family got you into Europe? So who is Steve
No,
then?
no,
Is Steve
no,
like
not got me into Europe. They have a promotion called Evolution of Boxing.
right? But I mean, so
So
Steve is he a relative of, I don't know, the owner of Evolution of Boxing
yeah,
or
he's the brother of the Evolution of Boxing.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's all that's happening with me about the last 4 years, 5 years.
Mhm.
Fighting the promoter sons or
Ah,
brothers and sisters, brothers of the promoter and all. Uh, it's just one of those things. The way you asked that question, someone asked me that yesterday to say, bro, is this and I was like, yeah, bro, it's just seems like it's my luck at the end of the day.
that
uh,
is funny, man.
yeah.
Look,
So yeah, it's the promoter's son. It is the Supin brothers. They
mhm,
promote the evolution of boxing. So
mhm,
even that's what makes it exciting for me. Is I need to go there to really hurt somebody,
mm,
either he takes a knee or so it means just my training itself. You train very hard, harder than the last fight.
mm,
Because it's gonna be tough. You're going to the Oaks home ground, he is the promoter, everybody's got him already.
mm,
So it means David, you have to put on a good show, go in there to hurt, you know, you believe in yourself. So anything is possible at the end of the day. I've never shied away from a fight at the end of the day.
mhm,
I'm not one of those oaks to think, oh, it's a promoter's son or anything like that.
mhm,
If they
mhm.
want to fight, we can fight. If everything makes sense, money makes sense, everything makes sense, then why not?
Yeah, yeah. I remember last time you said a really good quote to me. You said you sent your resignation to the fighting gods, but they sent
Yes, and I
it back.
sent it back.
So
Yes.
what is I guess what's motivating you to keep fighting now, would you say?
To be really honest, I love fighting. I really love fighting, and also watching my kids coming with me to the gym to watch me spar and all. Um, I think this will teach them, if you're so passionate about something, don't just let it go. Obviously keep yourself safe, keep yourself healthy at all times, especially in this kind of a sport. But not just for boxing, for anything really. If you're passionate about your work, about anything, um,
Mhm.
that passion, I think that's what's keeping me going.
Mhm.
I've had this passion since I was 8 years old. I just had this passion for boxing, for fighting and all. And the older I get now, yes, I feel like even today after sparring, I said to the coach Dominic, I was like, coach, because he always tells me, you're getting old now. And I'm like, coach, my hands, I feel the age is kicking. But the fire to fight is still there, And like I said, with the fight like Steven Supon, at the moment, if it makes sense, I know it's a fight for the crowd. The money is good. Um, I'm gonna entertain the people of Holland. They are my people in Europe, To be honest, when I go there, I've got quite a crowd supporting me and stuff, So also for that, and yeah, for the love of the sport, for love of fight.
But you also said that this could be your last fight as well. You've kind of implied that as well. So
Yes, like I said to you, even in the last interview,
Mhm.
with these fights, if I don't fight after this, nobody phones me or gives a good offer and stuff, then I won't fight.
Mhm.
uh, it's I'm not chasing it. I'm not picking up the phone looking for the fight. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I haven't done that in a year. I think I haven't actually in like 2 years. Actually, I haven't literally looked for a fight or asked another promoter, hey, I need a fight or something like that. They're always phoning me. So I guess the time will come when that stops. And for me, it will be, I will bow and say thank you. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when I believe they take my resignation. They say, okay, because if the phone keeps ringing, they don't want me to resign. And if the offers are good, if it makes sense to fight. But if it stops, I'm not chasing it. Even this fight is not about chasing it. They phoned me. I was like, okay, it sounds like a good offer. It's something that we've wanted to do. I would like to do it, for the people of Amsterdam, for my kids, I love fighting. Let's do it, So
Mhm.
after this, if nothing comes from that, I bow. I say thank you. And
Mhm.
I won't even be sad. I won't even look at this career to say, shit, bro, look how many losses, how many wins. I'll actually look back to say, yo, bro, you actually did it. You did very good from a boy from South Africa out of Soweto, who just had a big dream from a little kid. There you fought, you went around the world, you fought in Europe, you headlined a few shows. Uh, Yes, you were 10th fight away from South Africa. So that means 10th fight away from my people shouting me on,
Mhm.
and still standing, still representing my country. That's what my people are saying to me back home is, David, we're so proud of you. You
Mhm.
hold our country. It's not about the wins and stuff. You just really represent our country so well. You're out there, you're showing that, it's possible from the townships to these big stages. So I'm getting good feedback from my people too back home, to say, you know what, bro, regardless of the wins and stuff, we're actually proud of you. Well done, I was at home last year. And just to get that kind of feedback,
Mhm.
people still ask me today, yo, David, when are you fighting again?
Mhm.
When do we see you? Send the links. Let's stream it. Can we stream it? Uh, so that also it gives me that feeling. I still put excitement into people, even though I'm losing and I'm out there trying, but people are still excited to see, hey, this Oak is fighting. Let's watch him. Let's put on the TV if we can. Let's watch him. He's our fellow brother. He's our South African. Let's cheer him on, regardless of his record and stuff. And that that's motivating on its
Mhm.
own, eh? And I think that motivates other kids. I don't know, but I feel it does. 100%.
But David, what if the phone never stops ringing? Because look, no one can deny, you're a very tough guy. You
Then
know,
it means I'm fucking a tough guy, boy.
they know that if they
No,
put a
no, no,
pros
no.
they
Let
know
me
that if
hear
they put
what
their
you have to
prospects in of you, you're gonna test them and stuff.
say.
What
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what if the phone never stops ringing? What if you just keep,
No, but you know
you
what?
know?
It will come to a point like now. It has to really make sense. Like now, before I even fight, I speak to my wife. I
Mhm,
look at everything. I say, if my wife gives me a green light to
mhm,
start even a training camp, I'm at training camp. Then
mhm,
everything is fine. If I'm pushing it, I was before. I won't lie. Coming into Europe 5 years ago, I pushed it. I emailed every promoter, emailed everybody, phoning. This one I got signed to. What's that Irish boxing promotions? They signed me.
mhm,
I just wanted to get out there. I was
mhm,
gonna fight Garrett Getagry or something. Also for lousy 2,000 euros for 12 rounder and stuff. I just wanted to be out there. You know
mhm,
what I mean? I just wanted it. Now I won't do something like that. Uh, why risk like that? But if the guys like now, this fight makes a bit of sense. I've been going to Holland and stuff like this. The people know me. I've built a fan base.
mhm, mhm,
So to go there just to say thank you to the people, give them a good fight, obviously going out there to win. This is where it changes everything. A guy like me, you can call me a black sheep. It's true. Because you put me against one of these oaks, I stop one of these oaks, the phone doesn't stop ringing.
mhm,
Just 100%. Then it's like, oh, then the phone does carry on ringing. But then that's where you'll have to sit, really look at the options to say, does this make sense? You're gonna risk yourself this because beating a person like Supan, I think he's 14-1, 14-2 or something,
mhm,
300 box rec. For me, it will boost me.
mhm,
I know this 100%. I've had good fights where people have watched me fight just on the live streaming I used to do, and that alone got me a few big fights here in Europe. I fought in France just because people watch me fight. Yes, I lost the fight,
mhm,
but just because I'm an exciting fighter. So
mhm,
imagine I beat someone like a Super and stuff. I still train for this. This is what I want. I imagine doing it. Then, of course, the phone will keep ringing. But if the fight makes sense and everything makes sense around it, my family's happy with it, we keep going. If not, then yes, as I say, I bow down to the sport with a smile on my face and to say, yeah, I've done. For me, I'm proud of where I've come, where I've
mhm.
gone. Yes.
So
If I'm not making sense, brother, just know I had 2 days of hard sparring.
well, I admire I admire your guts. Obviously, yeah. I mean, you've had a lot of fights, and you're always taking off tough opposition. So, I'm just, if I'm being honest, I'm just thinking more like, almost like someone who's known you for a few years. You know, at some point, there has to come a point where you do have to hang up eventually, because obviously you've got a lovely family and that kind of thing. So, at some point, you do have to weigh up whether it's worth the risk or not. What happens though? I guess what happens if you win? I guess what happens if you win though? What happens if you beat Supan? What happens then?
Even with that, I won't even phone people. I'll sit. The phone will phone me. It will ring itself. You
Mhm,
know, I know it will ring itself.
mhm,
That's the thing. Is even that's what I feel. I've won. That's where I've won in the sports of boxing, not on paper,
mhm,
but I have so many promoters know me. So many promoters are watching. So many promoters are actually gonna watch. Is he gonna win here? Because if he wins here, I can bring him onto my show. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And uh, it. This is where I say you've won a little bit in the sport, but yeah, bro. Even with this whole thing of hanging the gloves, I'll be honest. I think about it, and that's where I say I will also with the that's why I don't chase it anymore. Is come been doing boxing for so long. People have asked me, when are you gonna stop? When are you gonna stop? And I've always said, I will know when I'll stop. I'll never say I'm stopping next year or stopping because I love fighting so much. I
Mhm.
will know. And lately, it comes to say, okay, no, it's about time. I even look at work, my kids. I was
Mhm.
even speaking to my coach Dominic today to say, I don't train. When I was training with him, I slept in his gym. I
Mhm.
train 3 times a day.
Mhm.
Eat, sleep. That's all you do. Eat, sleep, box. Eat, sleep, box.
Yeah.
Eat, sleep, box.
Mhm.
To fight the people at big levels, this is what you need to do.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I'm not doing that. I'm training once a day.
Mhm.
I'm training, I'm pushing once, twice a day sometimes, but I
Mhm.
have to. Like now, I'm gonna go run tonight to put in my second training session.
Mhm.
But it's like survival training. So I won't push myself to carry on to fight the crazy big fight. So if they phone me to say, Dave, we have a big fight for you, I will really sit down with my family. We look at everything. Does it make sense? Yes, it's the big fight and all, but is it worth it? Because at the end of the day, I have to think about the family and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
So it is creeping onto me to say, okay, it's about time. But as I say to everybody, is I will know. I will if the phone don't ring, I'm not going to chase it. So maybe that's it. The phone just stops ringing, and I'm like, okay, you're not like forced to let go, or you're not just like throwing it away, or just hanging it up. You're just letting it go slowly, and things like that sometimes they just stop. I
Mhm.
think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, where it just stops because I promise you, a boxer like me, it's very hard to let go something like boxing.
Mhm.
You cannot live. I've tried. I've actually literally tried. You cannot. You start freaking out. You start having withdrawal symptoms and stuff. You start going crazy. You can't sleep. Your back is burning. You're jabbing in your sleep. Your kids are sending you like hypnotical messages, talking boxing. You're going crazy.
Mhm.
It's like it's calling you
Yeah.
back in other words. You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult. It's like you need a rehab for to stop this stuff. You it's like somebody dying. So the
Mhm.
thought of you not doing it is also scary. I won't lie to you. The
Yeah.
thought of me not fighting, it scares me because this is all I know. This is really, really, really all I know. I've been doing it since I was, what, 8 years old?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's a very common theme, to be fair. We've seen it with, there's so many, Roy Jones Jr. is a good example of someone who a lot of people think went on too long. But like you're saying, that seems like, yeah, it's very difficult to just stop, I suppose. It gives
And
you a sense of
especially
purpose, isn't it?
and especially if you've worked so hard and you get somewhere.
Mm.
And your background, where you've it's the journey that it's been to where it is now. Just to say, just to be like, okay, you let it go. If I really could, if there was a tablet or something you could do to train and fight forever, I would. I'm not
Mm.
the only one. I'm sure many fighters would do this forever because it's like a drug, bro.
Yeah.
You can't. Even now, I'm trying to explain it. I really can't. Even my wife, I say to my wife, when I go through those ropes, and I think I've told you this before, I
Mm.
cannot explain it. There is
Mm.
something, there's a feeling there that I cannot explain that I've had since that first amateur fight going through those ropes. I still have the same feeling to my 29th fight, going through those ropes. Then you see it's like you belong. This is where you belong. You know what I mean? It's like a crazy. I still right now cannot explain it,
Mm.
but to the thought of not having that, you know, is also something I think a lot of fighters deal with and they fight with it. And that's why you get fighters when they leave the sport. Some of them actually go backwards. They become
Mm.
alcoholics, they become drunks, they become this, they become that, they
Mhm.
become beaters and stuff because this sport holds people together.
Mm.
It's a crazy boxing is it's wonderful. It's so crazy, bro. It keeps people mentally, physically. It's like me, what I was saying to you. If I don't train, I start to really have withdrawals. I fuck out. I start
Mm.
eating shit. I start doing I don't think straight. you start. Even my wife says to me, "Go to the gym. You don't need to fight all the time. Train people." That's why now I'm training kids, and all of this is I'm looking for a way. What would be my way out? You know what I
Mm.
mean? I have to take this. I have to continue it some way. You know, right now I'm training kids here in Germany. I've got some good kids. It's the first time I'm invested in these gigantic kids, and I'm like, wow, I want to show you what I know, and I'm going to make you a machine, and that's gotten me excited. You know what I mean? So it's let's see where this goes. This might be my escape, but still in boxing. Even
Mm.
with we're trying to see if we can manage South African fighters, thinkers like this, still be in boxing somehow. You know what I mean? Because without it, bro, I'll be a lost cause, Monica.
Mm. Interesting. Yes, it's a good insight. I mean, yeah, we see this. We do see this. There's
A
no denying
lot,
it, you know.
a lot. This is why you still got Tyson doing all these things, and it's it's a drug. Boxing is one of the best drugs that has been out there.
Mhm.
MMA as well, not just for boxing. I think all these combat sports and stuff like this. The Oaks don't want to stop. Even I was listening to a podcast about BJJ that they say, for a man to do BJJ at 45, 50, it's actually good for them to release endorphins and stuff like this, with stress and all of this. And it took me away to say, wow, at 45, 50, Oaks are grappling and stuff like that. But to hear what the jiu-jitsu, what medical benefit it has on a human being in terms of releasement and stuff
Mhm.
is mind-blowing. And then you're like, wow, you see how sport can hold people mentally together, physically together, you know? Imagine without it, we'll be fucking.
You mentioned Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Obviously, Mike Tyson, he was over 60 years old. And what did you think of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul? Well,
You must really be honest, brother. I
mhm.
haven't even watched the highlights of that. I won't
All right.
watch that, bro. It's for me. It's not boxing, bro. Jake Paul did good for the sport, 100%. No, hats off to him. Respect to him. He made a whole in terms of marketing and boom, making it 100%. But the thing of him wanting to fight to become WBC champion, fighting Oaks that are 60 years old to build a record, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me how some of those fights are sanctioned,
Mhm.
how this is possible in the world we live in today. Because if we really think about it, yeah, regardless. But there's boys in Mexico, Cuba, Colombia sitting 20 and 0, 25 and 0, who've had nothing, who have fought their lives to get to get there, to be in the top 20, let's say, of the WBC.
Mhm.
Okay, and they don't get the recognition. They're just sidelined for
Yeah.
this Muppet making noise, and they're making it a WWE, making it very entertainment and stuff.
Mhm.
Fair enough. For me, is I would ask him like a question: why don't you fight a person in the top 20 or the top 15, and
Mhm.
then beat them? Do 8 rounds, 8, 10, like that. Start in the top 20, 8 rounds, 8 rounds, get another opponent. Maybe in 3 fights you can fight the top two, top even the top guy, but fight the top 20 and stuff first. Build yourself like that. Let the people see this, and then I'm sure a lot of people are going to turn around and say, "Wow, this little homie can box. Wow, this oak got talent. This oak is actually something." Where right now he's jumping all over the talent and what people, the hard work and making it entertainment, making money out of it.
Mhm.
Very nice, very good for him. Blessed. Wow, I'm not going to complain. Very nice. But it's not fair for him to say and to get all of this acknowledgement and rankings and uh, fights on Netflix and Because I promise you, there's fighters out there that things like this, it hurts them.
Mm.
Because some people don't have anything. I know myself when I had my only boxing bag when I was little was a rice bag. I put old clothes in there. We put water to make it hard, and we hit that as for a boxing bag. You know what I mean? And this was a dream for us. But now you have kids like that, and they watch Jake Paul. Oh, you need money. You need to have a big mouth. You need to know some people. You can be top of the. Where's the hard work in that? Where's all those years of sacrificing? He doesn't show all of that. There's none of that in Jake Paul's story.
But in fairness to Jake Paul, he did try to fight. He fought Tommy Fury, right? And Tommy Fury
No,
was, I know Tommy Fury is an influencer himself, but he did,
but he's a boxer. Tommy Fury did amateur boxing.
yeah, he was an amateur boxer, yeah, and he
Yeah,
came up short, I suppose, Paul, you
yes,
know?
but still, he did pro. He's still fighting pro boxing now, or what?
No, he's kind of gone off the radar, Tommy Fury, to be honest.
He got big paycheck with.
Yeah, well, my point is that Jake Paul, I guess he did try to fight someone, I guess, somewhat legitimate, not an MMA fighter, and he came up short.
And he
So,
came up short.
hmm,
So that's the thing. So after he came up short there, how did they give him a fight with Mike Tyson? You know
hmm.
what I mean, bro?
It's because it makes
And like
money, I
he
suppose,
has,
isn't it?
then he has proper legitimate fighters calling him out, like Carl Froch,
Hmm.
and he turns those down. What the hell? If they want to do celebrity boxing, why don't the world will see on Netflix? Put Holyfield versus Tyson, 3 rounds. The
Hmm.
whole world will watch that again. You
Hmm.
understand?
Yeah.
3 2-minute rounds. Let them with 16-ounce gloves.
Mhm.
We will see Tyson, Holyfield in 2025. Let's just say. I
Mhm.
will put on the TV and watch this. Maybe Tyson bites his nose or something. Just for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You don't know what will happen, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they boxers, they know what they're doing. But Jake Paul versus, it's like this. Why you don't think Mayweather going to fight a Tank Davies or something?
But in fairness to Mayweather, he did have quite a few exhibition fights, didn't he, Mayweather? He was fighting his MMA guys. He did have a little spell. I think he stopped now, but he did have a little spell as well when he was doing exhibition, Mayweather, you know?
So with these exhibition fights, what the Canelo can do is also pull a Jake Paul. Say, listen, let me fight again with Mayweather. There's a big money fight. The
Mhm.
whole world will tune into Netflix, whatever channel that is, and watch Mayweather Canelo 2. He's not even, what, he's 52 or something like that.
Yeah, I think he's in his 40s. Yeah, he's in his 40s. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
Yeah,
Canelo is in his 30s.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not that long of it. They fought each other. Now they'll fight each other now with vintage Mayweather.
Yeah.
But it will be very good to see. You know what I mean? That will be exciting. That makes sense for me, you know? But with the Jake Paul, what he's doing for the sport with the woman and all, hats off to him.
Mm.
Respect, you know, really respect. But what he's doing with his career, bro, I don't take him serious. And the people that take him seriously, I don't understand how he can sit there and even his manager, he takes to press conferences and tells him, yeah, say these things, tell the world you will beat Canelo, but you cannot beat Tommy Fury. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. But you made a good point. In fairness to Jake Paul, he's done a good job of Amanda Serrano, hasn't he? So Amanda
Yes,
Serrano
yes.
under him has had a lot of success. So he has had a positive impact. But yeah, 100%, I definitely get what you're saying.
Even with Amanda Serrano, I'll be really honest. The way they're judging her fights, I feel there's a little bias there with the whole Jake Paul that
Mhm.
because that second fight she won that shit, bro.
Oh, what you mean? Well, Katie Taylor, you
With
mean?
Katie Taylor, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people thought she did. A lot of people thought
She
she
won
did.
that shit, bro. For
Yeah.
me, it had to do with something with the promotion or something because there's no ways, even now they're calling it a trilogy. It doesn't. It's That's not a trilogy. She's won
Mm,
twice.
yeah.
It's really not. What they have to fight five. How would you make it even 5 times? Then they have to fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then you have a winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that they're calling it a trilogy now, it really doesn't make sense. Why call it a trilogy? It's two to know. They
Mm.
should just move on at the end of the day, you know? Or don't call it a trilogy, just fight again. A trilogy means 1-1. Someone needs to win to make it,
Yeah,
the trilogy. Yes, yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
guess
that's what I mean. Like some
mm,
of these things, it's like, I think Jake Paul also trying to turn boxing. Yes, it is an entertainment sport, but this is why you have worldwide entertainment. The wrestlers, they have their own thing, and that's why it's been like that for all these years.
mhm.
Boxing has never really, it has been it is an entertainment sport, it has not been an entertainment sport like they're doing now. Now
Mm.
it's too much entertainment.
That's a fair point. But okay, let's quickly touch on, but in fairness to, for example, Saudi Arabia, they are
Yes.
making it a little bit more, I guess, traditional because the best are fighting the best more
Yes, you
often.
see, with the Saudi Arabia, amazing. I think the whole boxing world now is following the words Oscar de la Hoya, all of us,
Mhm.
because we're like, oh, yes, this Turk coming to take a sport and stuff. But what has he done in 2 years? We've seen the best fights. We've seen fights that you'll see if you were playing on PlayStation with your
Mhm.
mate.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those are the fights we're seeing, actually. The ones you would choose if you had to play with your mate to roll
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
it's true. That's a good
And
point. Yeah.
and that is what makes it exciting to see these kind of fights. You
Mm.
know, even now to see the build up to say who does Canelo fight? Till Crawford. We want to really see. Is it going to be 5 fights? Is he going to fight now? Then not fight. Is Skull going to give him quite a go? Because this Skull is also he's quite a deadly oak. You know,
Mhm.
he's like coming
Cuba.
out
He's
of
from Cuba. Yeah, he's from
yeah,
Cuba.
yeah, but let's be honest, in the sport of boxing, he's coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's not very known.
Yeah, it's just like he's just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But you watch this guy fight and his hands and the power he has with his hands. It's
Mm.
amazing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's exciting to see. It's very, very exciting. And I think this is why Canelo also chooses such fights. Because for him also, it's not about winning. You can see Canelo, it's not about winning. He can lose, you have a rematch, you win the rematch 100%. But what is a true champion? The one that always wins, or the one the people can see, even lose, but still come up and even lose like a champion, come back and take his crown again. That's what people want to see.
Mm.
That's boxing. That's what you want to see. You know, that's what you want to see him lose and say, actually, this guy's coming back. He's gonna come. He's gonna knock him out, and then you want to see that fight again. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel with Canelo to say that's a true champion. That's today's champion. Uh, Fury. That's all he needs to do now. He just needs to come back out of it. He knows it. Come back out of retirement. The people will go crazy just to see him one more time at Wembley. Think about that.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? You know this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of sense. And if he wins, he is the true Lionel People's Champion because he can be in defeat twice, even come back and win and become champion again. That's a champion. That's a champion. That's a story of a champion.
Well, that's how it used to be before the Mayweather era.
Yes,
Loss
yes.
wasn't a big deal, was it? And now it's kind of the opposite, isn't it?
No, but I see the Turk, the Sheikh Turk, is the way he puts these fights together. That era has to go
Mm.
because these people have to fight each other, and when they fight each other, they have to beat each other.
Yeah,
But they can always do rematches and all of this. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like now you have Canelo Crawford. Canelo wins. Crawford can easily say, I'll have a rematch with him. They make more money. His career doesn't go backwards. His career jumps, you know. To
Mm.
even fight with Canelo, your career shoots. To have a rematch with Canelo, no one does that. No one can say that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I think this era of Mayweather is going to fall away.
Yeah.
It's really, even now with the Grand Prix, this whole Grand Prix boxing and stuff like that, where they're getting all the fighters of the world, throwing them into like a pothole, letting them roll. This is where the zeros are going to go. Because some guys, remember, some promoters and some managers, what they do, you keep the fighter in your country for until he's 30 and old.
Mm.
And then you send him out there to England or to the States, he gets wobbled, boom. Then the career's over.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because you've kept him in one place, he hasn't you know. And now what with this Grand Prix, what I see is opportunity. I wish this happened 10 years ago when we had a chance to do this shit.
Yeah.
Because then you go fight the best in the world. Even if you got 6-0 in your country or you're the prospect, you go fight another prospect now early in your career. It just will elevate your career because you will learn what he's losing. You will carry on. You will fight. You will lose. You will still become a champion. You will know the real story of boxing, story of a champion. You know, even that song is in my head right now.
Yeah. Well, David,
Yes.
we'll stop there because we're running out of time. But thank you, David, as always, for joining me. I love talking to you about boxing. And
Yeah, bro.
good
Sorry,
luck in your
man.
next
Got
fight
carried
on March
away there.
29th.
Yes.
And guys, if you've enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot, guys.